What we gonna do right now is go back, way back. Give me your friend. Hey, come on, hey, come on, come on, come on, give me your friend. Hey, because like do the round, fat girls like do the round. Fat girls, let me see you grind. Fat girls just doing their own thing right there with the fat thing, and the fat girls just shaking them thighs. Fat girls don't make it count right.
Excuse me.
Baby.
What's up? I thought you was gonna start hanging out with the big girls again. What is all this trash?
But like fat girl, hit the ground, hit it up, and you hear that sound. Fat girl just looking so sweet. Fat girl don't make it eat. Fat girl just shake it, don't speak. Big girl, let me see you do a thing. Let me see you touch the ground. Shake it up, back down. Tap me and then the house. Work it, work it, work it, work it, work it,
I'm serious. Where you are, not the Alabama. Oh, not the Britney Spears. Hey, how you doing? Oh, but ain't the little leprechaun. Girl, your beat is so up. You look a mess. All about the big girls. What about the big girls?
Big girl, work it, work it, work. Big girl, work it, work it, work. Big girl, you just suck all the fat off your ass. Yo, what up, y'all? Welcome to another edition of the Uncle Luke Show podcast. As you can see, I am sitting in the Orange Bowl. And I did something different today. I gave people the link where they can actually come in and ask me questions. They can come in on the broadcast, chime in, ask whatever questions they want to ask. But I'd like to welcome you all to another edition of the Uncle Luke Show podcast, where we talk sports, politics, and entertainment. We cover today's stories. We're going to be discussing the Ryan Clark and Cam Newton firing and what that says about today's media landscape. We're going to be talking about, we're also going to be asking about whether the Black Congressional Caucus is doing enough to address issues that affect the African American community as political climate continues to heat up. We will talk about the heartbreaking violence affecting Black children and young people across America, and why so many of our families are still waiting for answers from the Justice Department. And in sports, we're going to break down LeBron James to Miami rumors. Could it really happen? And why so many people are talking about it? We're going to get into all this and more on the Uncle Luke Show podcast today. Thank you and welcome, everybody. Let's go. Let's get right into it. Hey, man. Hi, Glo. Hi. Everybody in the chat, let me know where you're from. We're broadcasting live on my Facebook page. We're on both Facebook pages. I figured that one out. We're also broadcasting live on my YouTube page. That's Uncle Luke TV. The Facebook is Facebook Luther Campbell. Twitch, Uncle Luke Real One. Instagram, Uncle Luke Real One. We're also on Twitter, Uncle Luke Real One. We're all over the place right now today. Hey, listen, this is a very awesome week. We've started out with a bang. But yesterday, Ryan Clark got fired. You know, me and Ryan Clark, we've had so many issues. Not so many, you know, it's a lot of times I disagree with some of the things that he may have said, you know, and it is what it is. You know, I'm going to disagree with a lot of things a lot of people say. It's nothing personal. I disagree with Stephen A. Smith a lot of times. Nothing's personal, and I go do a show. You know, I go chill, sit there, talk to him, you know, unlike everybody else who's scared of him. And, you know, there have been some things that Ryan Clark has said, especially when it came to Sharon Moore, you know, and I said, give him his due justice, give him his due process. I'm sorry. He's not guilty until proven innocent. And whatever happened with him does not affect all African-American coaches. And he made that statement, and I disagreed, and I went hard on Ryan Clark. But I do respect Ryan Clark, like I said in my tweet today, as a hell of a football player, former football player, and a hell of a journalist, a hell of an interviewer, and he knows his shit under all circumstances. He knows what he's talking about. It's just sometimes he kind of trails off. And sometimes we wonder, is it for the man? But as we all see right now, the man has spoken, and the man has did what he's did. And so, but at the end of the day, I respect Ryan Clark. You know, how he was fired was totally wrong. Nothing about him being fired, the way he's got fired, was right. Nothing about that was right. I mean, this was the show that he was on, this show right here. And he was going to the last 10 minutes of the show, and they fired him. I mean, check it out.
Okay, you look at A.J. Brown, which is this number one wide receiver who got one target all night, and then you got CeeDee Lamb.
But that's the
when was the one target?
That's the target.
But
though.
I'm saying,
when was the one target?
I'm saying you could have it both ways.
54 seconds left in the game on 2nd and 11. It was the one target. He runs the out route.
You wake up this morning saying A.J. Brown had a better day than CeeDee Lamb.
But you know what you wake up saying though? A.J. Brown's team is 1-0.
Of course,
right? Like,
I mean,
like
yes,
that's what
I get it.
But the thing is this though, and we shouldn't do this on TV. And so I apologize if people think this is rude. That's the non-player.
Oh, stop. That's no, that CeeDee Lamb is
let me tell you why. I'm not looking
at fantasy football. Ryan, I'm not, don't belittle me like that. I could come in and say, as 3 ex-players are saying one thing and give an alternative perspective that maybe CeeDee Lamb did play well. And
Peter, what I need for you to do is not get mad and let me finish for one.
Okay, go on.
It wasn't about you. It was going to be about me.
Okay.
As a player, I can't speak for CeeDee Lamb. I'm speaking for.
Well, that was his last show. I mean, to fire a person while you're on the air, to fire a guy while he's on the air doing the show that he has. I mean, no, that was a Green show. But this guy is an Emmy award-winning talking head. He's won Emmys. And I mean, that's like the highest you can get. That's like winning a Grammy. That's like getting dropped from a record label after you just won a Grammy, after you won multiple Grammys. That just don't happen. And so, again, you know, I go back to my good friend Roland Martin. Roland Martin always made a point about owning your own platform. And I've always respected Roland Martin for that. Roland Martin, once he looked at the CNN and all these different networks and realized that Black people are expendable, that you're only there for a certain amount of time. You will not be a dinosaur. You will not retire there. You will not be the person to go into the room and then have a pissing war because Donald Trump is the president and they want you to be fired. No. That's only applies to white people. That only applies to white people. When it comes to Black people, unless you're on The View, don't get whoopee. Unless you're on The View, you have a long-lasting career. Cam Newton, what was he there for, like a year? Like a year? I mean, Cam has his own show. Cam did look like he came to work a couple times straight out the club. Like he had the I just got up voice in the morning a few times. Then he kind of had a little run-in with Stephen A. Smith. That didn't work well. So I can kind of see Cam contract not getting renewed. But Ryan Clark was a good old guy. Ryan was a good old boy. Ryan was great for the network. Very good for the network. And so to see him get fired in that manner, the question becomes, was it personal? Was it something that happened? I don't know. You like that background, huh? You like the Orange Bowl. That's where we're at. We're in the OB today. I just feel like Orange Bowl today. You know, I'm a throwback. I'm that. But Ryan Clark, I mean, to be fired like that, let's really think about it. I mean, you had Joy Reid, you had Jamel Hill, you had Ryan Clark now, you've had Roland Martin. I mean, let's just use Joy Reid and Ryan Clark. These are people who got fired at their peak. At their peak, like how networks actually work. It's about the numbers. You know, when it comes to the numbers, are you doing it well? Are you doing a good job? Are you bringing in the numbers? Are you winning awards? That's what it's all about. The numbers don't lie. So the numbers don't justify Ryan Clark getting fired under no circumstances. He was a good old boy. He was a good old guy. I mean, he took heat from me. He took heat from so many African-American men who disagreed with his takes sometimes. But then they go while you're on the desk, while you're live on the air, and they terminate you. They terminate them. Who does that? Who terminates a guy while he's working live on TV? Hey, by the way, you go to the bathroom. By the way, hey Ryan, you fired. What? He's supposed to go back and finish the show? Or did they say, hey Ryan, you're fired. Here's the door. Security, get his shit. Let's go. Did that happen? It could have. Because if you just got terminated, one could have believed that you would have went and got back and did the last 10 minutes and say, hold on, guys, on this live network, I just got fired. I just got terminated. My God. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want you to know I put, for the first time ever, I put a link inside my Twitter reposting the show. And I've offered everybody to come in, chime in on and have any question that they may have on this podcast. Cam, I can see Cam getting it. Ryan, I can't see Ryan getting it. I'm sorry. But again, that's what it is. That's the way, that's what's going on right now in America. Did Ryan say something about Trump? Because that's normally when you get fired. When you're a black man, you get fired after saying something about Trump. Did he? I don't know. Big question. But we talk sports, politics, and entertainment on this show, ladies and gentlemen. And here's something I find very interesting. I looked at this exchange and it blew my mind. Check this out.
Was the Justice Department's pardon?
You made clemency recommendations to the White House whether or not to pardon inmates. Is that correct?
My job was to make clemency recommendations.
And in that capacity, you recommended that the President of the United States, Joe Biden, grant clemency to all 40 federal death row inmates, all of them, clear them out, correct?
Sir, as I told Chairman Grassley, I'm not free to discuss the recommendations.
Well, that's what your memo says. I mean, we have your memo. Your memo of November 4th, 2024 says, and I quote, disparity and undue severity of sentence, which are present in many, if not all of these cases, have been recognized as grounds for clemency. And you went on to recommend in that memo and a series of other memos that are now recorded and public record that the President of the United States grant clemency to murderers, rapists, and the most horrible offenders, all of them, clear death row completely out. I'm amazed you've been called here today. I'm absolutely amazed by it. But let's just talk about the people who you recommended. You talk about honoring victims. The people who you recommended get clemency and live at the expense and sufferance of taxpayers for the rest of their lives. Let's start with Dylan Roof. Dylan was a neo-Nazi who murdered 9 African-American worshipers at a Bible study in Charleston, South Carolina, 2015. Do you remember this case?
I do remember it very well.
I would hope you did. Here's his victims. You want to look at them? There they are. 9 of them at a Bible study in a church, killed in cold blood. The DOJ knew from day one that he had decided, I'm going to quote from the prosecutors, decided to attack African Americans because of their race. He further decided to attack African American worshipers in a black church in order to make his attack more notorious. More notorious. And yet you recommended that he be granted clemency, live at the expense of taxpayers for the rest of his life, substitute your judgment for that of the American judicial system. Do you stand by that recommendation today?
Sir, I'm not going to comment on the recommendations that I made, but I can tell you that Mr. Roof is going to die in prison as...
He's going to live in prison for a very long time because of you, because of your recommendations. And here's what you said in your memo of October 30th, 2024. You said that actually Roof is not a compelling candidate for clemency, but you recommended it anyway. Why? Because he suffered from anxiety, you said. Right? He suffered from anxiety. Did it ever occur to you that maybe the family of his victims might suffer a little bit of anxiety because he marched into their church and murdered them in cold blood because he was an incredible racist and he wanted to get on TV?
Sir.
Do you regret it?
I'm not going to comment on the
Do
recommendations.
you regret it?
I'm saying I played that clip for a reason. I played that exchange for a reason, and that's going on in Washington. You have Joe Biden, former employee, granting clemencies for people who have unalived African Americans and every other person in this day of giving out pardons. I played that because I wanted people to really think about where we're at today when it comes to African Americans being unalived. And then they're giving these murderers they're punishing them, but then they're giving them a pat on their hand. There are people that are doing that. And thank God for the representative for getting on her about that. She couldn't answer the question. It's amazing that these people go before Congress and the Senate and cannot answer a straight question. And get called out on some of the things that they do on a consistent basis toward African Americans and toward everybody. I mean, it is amazing how things work in this country. Thank God you have the opportunity to be able to look at CNN, not CNN, but podcasts like this and social media that'll bring these things out into the open. This whole thing about this young lady who was unalived by hanging herself from Flint, Michigan, they didn't cover that on the news. They didn't talk about that on the news. It was through social media, and they talked about it. This whole thing of this lady offering clemency to all these murderers and killers, if it wasn't for social media, that wouldn't have been covered. If it wasn't for the show or TikTok, that wouldn't have been covered because we didn't see that exchange covered on CNN or MSNBC because they pick and choose who they want to talk about and what they want to talk about. And when it's directed toward African Americans, 99.1% of the time, it's not talked about. I mean, tons of kids. Ben Crump, God bless his soul. He's running around the country trying to represent any and everybody that has been treated in an unfair way. Any and every African American who has been treated in an unfair way, he's running around the country. God bless his soul. God bless his soul. He's from one end of the country trying to support one African American young man to another. I went to a candlelight visual of a young lady who was murdered, Bree, who was murdered in a senseless, violent act. And I looked into my Facebook DM, and I don't look at my Facebook DM. So people don't go in my Facebook DM and expect me to reply. But I did see one thing, and I replied to a young lady who said, my son was brutally beaten in Broward County by the sheriff's department. I had no idea this happened. I saw you was in Pompano at the Bree event, but why haven't you spoke about my son being brutally beaten by the sheriff's department of Broward County? I said, ma'am, I'm sorry, but I never knew about this. There are some things that come across. I don't know about everything. I'm not Batman. I'm not God. I'm not Jesus Christ. I mean, and nobody is. But the mere fact that so many things are being covered up and they're not talked about is amazing to me. Is it this administration? Is it the climate that we're living in? Maybe it is, because it seems like it's open season on African Americans. And I would suggest everybody protect yourself. But more importantly, that's who, that was an amazing exchange. That was an amazing exchange. And that's why I say, I'm running for Congress, and I say You can't go to Washington to be on one side. Either you're just there for right and wrong. You got to be there for all people. Right is right and wrong is wrong. You know, and I think it is our job as Americans to send people to represent us, whether it's Congress, whether it's school board, whether it's county commission, mayor, whatever it may be, president, whatever it may be. You got to send people who are going to represent all people. This climate that we're in right now, that's why I love that exchange. I know. She was there. I'd never heard of this. But this lady sitting there, you know, writing these letters after letters. I mean, the ink don't lie. It's like the film. And so everybody should be called out, whether you're Republican or whether you're Democrat, for the things that the injustices that you're doing to families who lost loved ones. You're trying to let people out of jail who went into a church and murdered a whole bunch of people just sitting there praying. You're trying to let people out of jail who went and murdered a bunch of Jewish people at a synagogue. You're trying to let people, I mean, like hardcore murderers. Where do they do that at? It's amazing. I mean, you know, the things that we don't know about. And thank God for social media, and thank God for politicians who just keep it 100. I mean, my God, it is amazing the world we live in. People always ask me, oh, Luke, why are you running for Congress? Well, I'm running for Congress to bring some common sense. Oh, you're not experienced. Yeah, I'm not experienced in being a liar, and I'm not experienced in not having common sense. I'm not experienced in creating division and playing like y'all really on both sides. No, y'all playing the American people. You're continuously playing the American people. That's all it is. It's like two divorce lawyers and putting on a big show to the judge, and the judge is us. The judge is sitting there laughing because all three of them, once they leave those proceedings, they're going to go around the corner and have a drink and laugh about the show that they put on to rob the two people, the husband and the wife. And the husband and the wife is considered as the American people. They get on TV and put on a whole show. That's why when one of them get unalived, then you see them all talking about, oh, I loved him. Meanwhile, you was just talking about how horrible of a person he was when he was living as a senator. You got on TV every day and said how horrible he was as a senator and how he disenfranchised people, how he treated people, and he was the worst thing since the coming of Christ, since the coming of the Antichrist. But you find out how they really feel. Is it being generous, courteous, respectful? No, they all love each other. They go to the Capitol Grill at the Capitol, and all of them sit up there and laugh about the shit that they talk on CNN, MSNBC, and go and say, okay, what insider trading are you going to do? And all of them leave Washington as a billionaire. Really? Make that make sense. Make that make sense. It don't make it make sense. Meanwhile, the American people are sitting out here suffering, absolutely suffering. We're in the state of Florida. The insurance and the property tax is going out the roof. Why is the insurance? Common sense. Why is the insurance going out the roof in the state of Florida? Let's keep it above. My mama house can withstand every hurricane since hurricane started. Never blew down. Why does my house, built by Centerblock, have the same insurance hike that these numbnuts and wherever they're at that are building houses in sheetrock and falling out? Why is my insurance up? Why they don't come to my house? Why doesn't any common sense of the governor say, hey, look, insurance companies, this is what we're going to do. You're not going to charge all people in the state of Florida one set of insurance. You're not going to do it on a car. You're not going to I'm not going to pay the same amount of insurance premium on a Volkswagen versus a Range Rover. No, you're not going to do that. The value is totally different. If a house is built with cinder block, that house should not have to pay high cost of insurance. That house ain't going nowhere. That house been here through every hurricane you can imagine. But yeah, here we go. House not built with cinder block. Send your insurance man up in there and stick a hole in there and say, let me know how this house is being built. How about fall him up on the code? How about state of Florida, put code? But we know the developers run all the politicians. Create the code. No, all houses in the state of Florida got to be built by cinder block because you are directly affecting the insurance of every other person in the state of Florida if we're going to do it like that. Common sense. The career politician, she has all the experience and they have experience to doing nothing. Shit don't make sense. It's amazing to me. Moving right along. Shouts out to Tom. How you doing up here, Tom? We're having a great conversation. I put on my Twitter so you all know. I put the link. If you want to come up here, ask me a question, or if you got something to say, for the first time ever, I allow you to be on this show. Just go to my Twitter, Uncle Luke Real One, click on the link, and you'll see in the link, you can come on the show and say what you want to say. Ask me whatever question you want to ask. Just chime in. Let's talk about Argentina. Argentina's been getting a bad rap. Is Argentina, I've been doing a little history. They talk about Argentina, how they committed genocide on Black people at one point in 1777 or whatever it was. It was 90% Black, 10% white, and all of a sudden they exterminated all the Black people, and now it's maybe less than 10% Black, and they just do not like Black people. I don't know. Amazing. If they exterminated Black people like that, and then they come over here and they make all these monkey gestures on the field and this place so dirty. They got beat up real bad in Atlanta by the police. They got beat up real bad. It was bad. They got beat up all over the United States of America by Black people and white people, assuming that they were making these racial slurs and comments. But let's take a look at how dirty they play.
Got everything you needed. Now bring it like you need it, just like you need it.
Is that just Argentina? Hey, I played them back to back. I was trying to set up where I talked about him. But these Argentine players, they play dirty. People call them a racist country. I won't be going to Argentina no time soon. But they actually talked about Spain the same way. But they look at all these Black guys on the Spain team, is that a reflection of Spain? And does Spain get a pass now? Because they talked about Spain the same way. They said Spain was a place that hated black people also. I guess when you have Argentina come in on steroids like that. But the most unique thing about the story of this young man, the most unique thing about this story was the fact that this man got touched by Messi. Messi touched him. Messi touched him, put his hands on him, and made this guy who he is. There's a picture of Messi when Lima was a baby. Amazing. He was a little baby, and it was through a program, right? It was through a program. I forget the name of the program. And this kid was, I think it was some kind of orphanage program or whatever it is. I don't want to be saying the wrong thing, but he was a baby, and Messi was doing this thing. And listen, I have all the respect in the world for Messi. I love Messi. I think Messi is great. Messi is not a reflection of what Argentina football is. Messi, you know, he don't get all mixed up in all the wild shit. He just play ball. You know, he plays here in Florida. You never hear Messi doing anything crazy. But this right here, and Messi at the super height of his career touched this young man.
Was like destiny. A 19-year-old messy bathing baby Lamine Yamal in a small bathtub. No one could have imagined that 19 years later, Yamal would become his heir in so many ways. Barcelona's biggest star, wearing the iconic number 10 shirt, becoming Adidas's new face, and now facing Messi in a World Cup final. Everything points towards Spain having the edge. In the Kalshi prediction market, Spain currently has a 59% chance of defeating Argentina. The baby in that photo is now an adult, while the man holding him is about to play the final World Cup match of his career. Messi became a legend, and every legend eventually needs someone to carry the torch. Today, July 19th, marks exactly 19 years since that unforgettable photo was taken. Yamal arrives wearing the number 19 shirt, and it almost feels as if destiny wrote this story to introduce football's next global superstar. To make Messi's retirement a little less painful, to make sure we never truly miss him, because every time Yamal touches the ball, we'll be reminded of Messi. According to the prediction markets, today could be the symbolic moment when Messi passes the torch to Yamal, bringing one era to a perfect close and opening the door to another.
And there was a picture at the end of the match where Messi was on the ground, obviously in shock, and it hurting. And Lamar went and picked Messi up. And that was amazing. That was a hell of a moment for a guy. And now this baby, this was a part of UNICEF, I think United, you know, it was a part of Messi, you know, being like supporting the charity of caring for kids who have been displaced and kids who have went through so much. And it's like he put his hand, this is so amazing. He put his hands on this young kid, bathed in this kid. And this kid to come up, he's 19 years old. He is the new him. He is the new Messi. He's the new Pele. He's the new Mbappe. He's him. And so, yes, we salute Messi for that. Even though his team his country and the things that they've done because of that picture that happened over 19 years ago. Because this kid is 19 years old. That happened overnight. He is not a reflection of Argentina. Messi is not one of them. Now, I hope that the country is getting a bad rap. But history is looking at it and the way they conduct themselves and the way they came over here and conduct themselves and the bully that they portrayed themselves to be on the field the other day. Yes, that's what it was. It was Messi doing humanitarian work. This is some amazing stuff, bro. That kid is the best player in the world right now. Messi has passed that on. Ronaldo is gone. Done. Last World Cup. Messi, done. Last World Cup. Pape, yeah, he has some more gas in there. Yeah, he got another one. This kid is 19 years old. He is the future. He's the Pele. He's everything when it comes to football. And to be bathed by a guy who's arguably the GOAT, and for him to come in and win the World Cup and be playing on that level, I mean, like, let's keep it a buck. This is this kid. Look at him again. About some amazing stuff. And I mean, and the way the kid interact with his family, his little brother, you could tell he's just full of love. He's a 19-year-old kid, ain't even 21. 19-year-old kid that's like living life, having fun. His little brother loves him. When you see a little brother love you like that, I mean, you're really in your little brother life. That means you're not just like, oh, you coming and going and all that. You know, you can see kids, you know, when they come around their parents and they be around mama and holding on to mama and they see daddy and they ain't grabbed daddy yet. Or when daddy grab them, they looking like, oh, Lord, it's almost like a stranger grabbing me. Or the brother come. No, he is with his little brother. The brother became the star of the show as well. And we know he's probably going to have a bright future as well. But to be bathed by the GOAT in a humanitarian situation, and this kid had to flee. His mother, like, literally had to walk across a desert or something crazy ass story with him. And she came to another country because he's not from Spain. Man, that story, his story is amazing. And the sacrifices that his dad had to make for him to be, I mean, they went through something. And for this kid, that's, you know, everything about this kid, he wears two names on his back. There's two people that was in his life that helped him. That's not his name. 19. I mean, the kid clearly understands who he is, where he came from, and he does not run away from that. That's what I love about these stars. Sometimes you become a star and they just totally forget where you came from. Totally forget where you came from. And so when I'm a fan. That's my favorite soccer player. I'm sorry. He's my favorite soccer player right now. I'm with him. That's it. Favorite soccer player. I would break y'all down with a story that I saw on social media also that I didn't know. And that's why I always, in my campaign, I always talk about Black Wall Street. Check this story out right here.
He burned to the ground because of him, not against him, for him. In 1923, Florida's governor forced out Florida A&M's president, Nathan B. Young, after 2 decades in office. His crime? Teaching black students literature, science, and philosophy, not just vocational trades. Young spent 2 decades building Florida A&M into a real 4-year institution from almost nothing. But Florida's governor believed an educated black population would leave the state and hurt its economy. Young refused to cut his own curriculum, so the state forced him out entirely. Students didn't protest quietly. Florida A&M burned to the ground in the unrest that followed his removal. Young didn't stop there. He rebuilt Lincoln University in Missouri so successfully it earned the nickname the Black Harvard of the Midwest. By 1927, that same success got him forced out again. Same reason, same refusal to back down. Twice fired. Twice for the same unshakable belief. Black students deserved a full education, not a limited one. Follow HBCU lineage for the stories they don't teach.
I didn't know that. So fast forward to right now today. If you teach Black history in the state of Florida and large places across this country, you get fired as an educator? See, these things that happen are a reminder that it already happened. Is history repeating itself? They are going back to what they did before. They're going back to what they did before. We're going to take Black books out of schools if you teach about Black history, because it's making others feel a little uncomfortable. It's so amazing. It is history. That's why you got to know your history. That's why you got to teach your kids history. They know their history. They're going to teach their history. Yeah, our history is this. We used to own them. We brought them over here on the slave ships and we purchased them. And your granddaddy and your granddaddy before your granddaddy before him, and before him, he owned a plantation. And we own them. They will never be equal to you. That's our history. And you need to know that. What we're going to do, at one point in the history, they were considered half man. They never had the right to vote. It was only that old Abraham Lincoln. That's what he did. But right now we can go back to those days. We got a president and a vice president who believes in the same things we believe in. Take our country back from these Negroes. Take our country back. And how do we take our country back? We started through education. We're going to take this education. We're going to make it a crime. If you teach Black history, if you teach anything about slavery days, we're going to take all of their historical monuments off of all of our parks. Anything with a federal park, federal this, we're going to get rid of all their Black generals and all those Black commanders. We're going to label them and say any of them, you give any of them Black people a job at a high-paying firm or whatever it may be, we're going to put a tag on them, say this DEI. You are DEI. It is DEI. You don't deserve this position. We're going to send a guy all around the country and say, if I see a Black pilot, I get nervous. I think he's qualified. I think he got the job off of DEI. So we're going to label these African Americans, no matter how high they finish in their class or what type of education they get from Yale or Harvard. We're going to go after Yale or Harvard for letting them get in there to give them out, to get them education. We're going to put them in jail. We're going to take their federal funding. You see how this going here, boss? You would think, see, we know that there are more than 13% of the population here in America. We just keep telling them that. We've been telling them they're 13 and 14% for God knows how long, as if they're not reproducing. Meanwhile, they're higher than that. They just don't know it. We just tell them, we lie on the census because we lie about everything. We put them in a party called the Democratic Party. And we make them think they run that party, but they don't run that damn party. They don't run it. We run it. We run the party. If they get out of hand, I wish they would get out of hand. We're going to handpick every one of those congressional members and the senators in Washington. Everybody that comes, that's an African American that comes, we're going to handpick them because we're going to put the money in their campaign. And any given time we want to take one of their seats, we'll do it. We'll go right in there, and they better hush. They better not say one damn thing about taking an African American seat from another white Democrat who's going into a 54% African American district that has been held by African Americans all their life. They better hush. They better not say nothing. Not one of them, I guarantee you, Paul. Not one of them is going to say anything. That's where we at today. We're going to fire Ryan Clark. We don't give a damn about Ryan Clark. It's our network. We don't care how many awards and how many people view him. We're going to fire his ass just like we fired Joy Reid, just like we fired every other African American. When they get too big for their britches, we fire them. And then we'll still own a few of them. We'll still own a few of them. Hey, listen, man, let me say this. Let me move off into this Colin Kaepernick, Jay-Z controversy. I think Colin Kaepernick and Jay-Z need to have a conversation. I really want, not I think, but I want Colin Kaepernick and Jay-Z to have a conversation. Because there's two brothers that are fighting in this country. And it's not good. It's not good at all. We need to have a conversation. You know, I would love to have a conversation with Jay-Z. I'll probably call him up, find a number, bring him on the show, because people do have questions. People have questions about a lot of things. And when a guy goes on stage like him, you know, he's not detached from things that people say about him. He's not detached. Jay-Z's been attacked on many, many different fronts, whether you agree with him or you don't agree with him. I want to talk to him about the Target situation. I want to talk to him about this Kaepernick situation. I want to talk about Tim where he stands with the NFL. I think it's important for him to have a conversation with a person like myself. And not one of those regular, as usual suspects who's not going to keep it a buck. One thing I do, I let people talk. I ask them a question, the questions that people may have, and let them talk. So he's a person that I'm going to reach out to try and have a conversation with, because I know him, and there are a lot of questions. You need to know how a person moving and why a person moving in a certain type of way before you pass judgment on them. And I think we need to have a conversation about it. As far as my congressional race, I get to sit here today. I had quite a few interviews. I got another interview coming up shortly. Network is coming by my house to interview me. Didn't get to go and go door to door. I enjoy going door to door. Yesterday we went to Tamarack and we went door to door. We're a predominantly Hispanic neighborhood. I walk with all the kids. We got kids walking with us. We're having a good time. We have a really very good time. You know, there was a forum that they were having. I didn't get an invite. You know, I can't be to every forum. My people call me up. People who love me call up and ask, "Oh, you coming to this forum?" I'm like, "Yo, I wasn't invited." I have an interview with the Miami Herald to see whether or not they're going to endorse me. I have no faith in the world that the Miami Herald is going to endorse me. That's why I didn't do the Sun Sentinel. But my people told me, "Look, do the interview." And I told the person who set it up, I was like, "Y'all not endorsing me. Come on, let's be real. You know you're going to endorse her. That's what y'all do." You know what I'm saying? But, you know, again, you don't want to be endorsed by some of them newspapers because they have a track record of who they endorse lose. So you don't want that. But, yeah, it'd be a good experience. I mean, I've been able to have a conversation with quite a few organizations when it came to interviewing me about my platform and where I stand on the issues that concerns their agency. I spoke to the government, governmental agency who represents those people who work for Social Security. And I always ask them, because I don't claim to know everything. I always ask them, what can a congressman do for you? You know what I'm saying? You're asking me the things that I can do for you. I'm not the sitting congressman. I have an ideal of things and where I can pull from resources from to help them. But it's more important because they live the life to ask them, what can I do to help them in their situation? And so they always get taken back, like, no candidate never asks us that. And I'm like, well, I'm not your traditional candidate. I'm a person who wants to be able to help. I don't claim to know everything. A good person a smart person going into anything, whether it's going to run a rap record label, going to run a gas station, going to be a congressman, going to be a president, going to be a mayor, you have to surround yourself with people who are very, very abreast of the issues. So when there becomes an issue, I have my platform. I know my platform like the back of my hand and how I'm going to get it done. I know how I'm going to get things done. I did careful research. I've identified the money that I'm going to bring to my district. I've identified all those different things. So when I get on into any of these conversations or any of these forums, I say to them, I got $6.7 billion in money to bring back to my congressional district. And they said, how? I know one of my opponents told people she was going to give them $1,000. Let me leave that alone. But I know that there's $5 billion in port infrastructure expansion. I know I could bring $5 billion there to expand the port. I know I could bring $1 billion for my Built by Us for Us housing program. I know I could bring $250 million to help seniors in my district with the high cost of insurance and create it as a subsidy. I know I could bring $250 million in an entertainment tax credit, a federal entertainment tax credit in my district. I know I could do that. I can create a federal entertainment tax credit, 50, 60%, to bring businesses here in my district. And I could take out of the budget $250 million to help that cause. That creates more jobs. I know I can bring $150 million for my apprentice program. Teach kids trade for the ones who don't want to go to college, who want to just get a trade, learn how to work, how to fix an electric car, learn how to be a plumber, learn how to be a carpenter, learn how to be an electrician, learn how to fix air conditioning, learn tech, learn how to be a social media guru. It's $150 million for my district. Another $100 million in small business money, so that those small businesses who want to take their business to another level, they'll be able to take their business to another level. Those individuals who want to start a small business, they'll have $100 million that they can draw down from. That's the difference between me and them. There is money there. I mean, my affordable housing is built by us for us plan. I call it the built by us for us plan. Why do you call it that, Luke? Because I believe that it should be built by African Americans, because it's an African American district for African Americans, not some developer coming in from wherever he come in from, and then he has people who don't look like people who live in the district. Now they're taking money out of the district. And then when it's time for, when they displace those people and say, hey, look, we need to move you over here because they've sold you the idea that they're going to rebuild your housing facility. So go over here and stay for a year or two until we rebuild this and you'll be able to come back. But then when they come back, they have the developer have a management company sitting in there telling you that you need to slit your wrist, give them your first and second baby and everything else in the world to get back into those and get back into that facility. And those people cannot get back in there. So then the community gets gentrified and they just use some slick way of getting those people out of there. The developer becomes consistently rich. That's why when you look at all these races that we're in all through South Florida, because we have a shortfall of 150,000 affordable houses that need to be built. This is big businesses for the developers. And they're putting tons of money in these congressional members' campaign, because they're trying to get to that $1 billion in affordable housing money that's allocated to them. See, my plan calls for bringing up the cost of living, bringing up not the cost of living, but bringing up living because the cost of living is so high. We put $5 billion into the port, that's going to be built by us for us. And the people who are going to be working in the port is people from the community. When I do my entertainment tax credit, and it's $250 million, that's for people in the community. So when Sony or Hulu or Netflix want to build a facility to take advantage of that tax credit, only way you take advantage of that tax credit, there's going to have to be people from my district that are working there. You only get the tax credit is based on the percentage of individuals who live in my district. So you ain't gonna bring nobody from California, New York, get the big bucks and then take it and go back to California, New York. That ain't building on the port. So now I'm enriching the people in my community. And all my seniors who are sitting there suffering, trying to make a difference, trying to decide whether or not they're going to pay for their prescription drug, or pay for food, or pay this high cost of insurance, I'm going to bail them out. I'm going to create insurance subsidies. Everybody over 50. Homeowner, you get an insurance subsidy. You're not, no. I'm gonna bail them out. See, these are the things that the non-career politician thinks about. It's the difference between having experience of building, having experience with a vision, or just having experience of doing nothing. These people I'm running against in my race, they got experience of doing nothing. They keep telling me, oh, she has experience in doing what? Explain to me what money she brought back here. Explain to me what has she done. Experience in looking out for her people and the people of her religion. Just keep it a buck. I ain't mad at that. I'm mad at nobody for looking out for their people. So don't be mad at me when I look out for my people. I'm not mad. I'm not mad at Debbie, Sheila, Dale, all these people looking out for their people. Everybody I'm in the race with all look out only for their people. Whether it's a war in another country, whether it's whatever it may be, they look out for their people. I ain't mad at them. But when you going to look out for the people of Congressional District 20, I'm not mad at them because I'm going to tell you one thing. I'm going to look out for my people. I'm going to look out for the people of Congressional District 20. I have 54% African Americans in there, made up of Jamaicans, Haitians, African Americans, and everybody. I am looking out for them. I got 20% of white folks in there, 15% Hispanic. I'm going to the white folks, that 20%, and if there's $100 in the budget, that's how it's going to get broken down. 80%, 70% is going, 65% is going to African Americans, and y'all gonna bust down that other 35%. You're 20%. I'm gonna give you 20% out the dollar. I'm gonna give you the 15% out the dollar. It's just that simple. But if you elect the person who represents the 20%, they're gonna give the 20% all the money, which I ain't mad at it. So the 20% white folks is gonna get all the money if you elect the white lady. It's just that simple. But they're gonna come in there and tell you, oh, we're here for everybody. Let me touch your little baby in the pool. I'm gonna grab it. Let me show you how I come roll up to the barbecue stand and the breakfast spot in the church. Oh, I'm going over here. Pretty sure lady be like Puff Daddy when you know that Puff Daddy documentary is like, oh God, give me the sanitizer, put it on. God, shots out to Puff Daddy. He getting out of jail. Leave Puff Daddy alone. Oh my God, protect so many black people in my life. Oh my God. It's culture shock. I know the community. I know what the community needs. I support the community. I know how it is to be a black woman in the community. Meanwhile, I'm walking around the district, people saying, I'm living check to check. And you've been a career politician since 1992. Your ugly ass been in office since 1992. You never held a job, but you're experienced in knowing what it takes for people to work. You never ran a business. So you are experienced in running a business. You never did anything infrastructurally. You never did any community service without getting paid for your community work as an elected official. So all of a sudden, people are going to tell me that is what experience is. I say bullshit. Luther Campbell had a job. Luther Campbell had a small business, and through my small business, my employees and people who work within my company became multi-millionaires. through my notoriety, I've got bills passed in the state. I built parks. I put parks. I brought millions of dollars to a district. I got my name on a stadium. It's so good. And street names after me, and built a entertainment industry, music and entertainment industry in the South and across the country when it never existed. Everybody thinking about owning their own record company. They were happy being on Sony and CBS, Interscope and all that shit before it was me. Am I too overqualified? No. God is sending me in here. You see my campaign report and versus theirs. You got one dude with 900,000. You got another dude with 500,000. You got another lady with that lady got $3 million and $15 million in PAC money. You see my little money in there? $5 campaign. Hey, look, you want to get $5? Look down the bottom. Go to my website, www.luthercampforcongress.com. Make a campaign donation. We $5. We getting in front of muscle. We like we grinding. We on the ground running. Our game is a run game, not an air game. That's what we at, and we love it. Because if you take that money from those special interest groups, they're going to expect to get a return on their investment. If they invest in you, then they're going to want something back. So I tell them, no. I'm okay. I'm betting on the people of Congressional District 20. I'm betting on them. But yet still, everybody want to talk to me. They want to interview me. They want to ask me questions. They want to attack me. They want to question me. I'm the guy with a little bit of money. We make it do what it do. I started my record company with no money. So I know how to do that. Out the trunk of my car. We are running this campaign out of the trunk of my car. Now we got an office. Got some beautiful young people in there. We got great volunteers. We got over 200 volunteers. That's what you normally would need the $500 and $800 and $1 million to pay people. We got tons of volunteers. We got kids and we got older folks. We making the phone calls, knocking on the doors and things like that. And the money that we do take in, we're spending it with African Americans. Vendors. My printer is a Black lady. My landlord is a Black man. That's how you circulate the dollar within the district. See what I'm saying? Say you got to do that. Our kids come from the district who we're giving a summer job, but we're educating them on the political process because we know nobody's teaching civics these days. So I'm enjoying this run. We've already won. I declare and claim victory right now. So ladies and gentlemen, that's my show. I enjoyed it. Mr. Streeter didn't come on here today with us. I'll probably have a special Sunday show. We'll be back on Friday. Man, I got a forum with the NAACP. I think it's Thursday or something like that. I look at my calendar, but yes, I enjoyed this show today. Beautiful day. I'm gonna go do some more interviews, but until the next time, ladies and gentlemen, in the words of Walter Cronkite, may the good news be yours. Hey, Ben Crump, you got something to say? Tell him, Ben Crump, how you really.
The next great congressman from the state of Florida, and his name will be Luther Campbell. I'm civil rights attorney Ben Crump, often referred to as Black America's Attorney General. I grew up in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, went to high school at South Plantation High School. My dad still lives in Parkway. We want to make sure we have a strong advocate from our community who understands our culture to go fight for us in the United States Congress. So make sure you go vote for Uncle Luke Campbell for Congress on August 18th.